All right. Real quick audio test. Test.
Bop, audio test, talking about the news.
I think my audio probably works.
It certainly does.
I get the green light on the Discord.
Give me the green light. Na 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 na. Ba na 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 na.
Want to take you for a ride.
All right.
I made it through my Royal Caribbean ad. Now I'm watching the stream.
Yeah. Fucking whatever. These 13-year-old Twitch streamers want to go on a cruise, right?
Yeah.
All right. You all ready?
We're totally audible on stream already.
Oh yeah, no, that's intended. That is intended.
Nice. Incredible.
Yeah. Just saying
Little
hello.
B-roll.
Yeah. Hey, hi.
All right, let's go.
Let's
get on the road.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
AI is coming for your jobs. AI is coming for Xbox. And then Ubisoft is doing shit. There's crazy shit happening out here in gaming news here on Super Gamecast. Welcome. This is a podcast for gaming and game industry news. My name is Aaron Reynolds. I'm joined by Bronson.
You saying that just made me think of hide your kids, hide your wife. The AI is
the
coming.
AI is coming for us out here, man. Oh, I'm joined by Duncan. How you do?
I'm due.
The AI hasn't come for you yet.
Not yet, no.
Not yet, but it's on its way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Obviously, by my background, I am living.
You're in it.
AI.
You're in it right there.
Right, you're in the code.
Yep, I'm in the code, the AI code.
You have to adapt, or you will be left behind. So you're doing the right thing.
Saying Yamai something. I can't read the rest of it. Yamai something ko. Yamai something ko.
Good luck trying to read that, man. I don't.
It moves too fast.
It's moving too fast. All right. Well, AI hasn't come for us yet. Thank God. But it's on its way here. And it comes here in the form of this first news story, which we should just dive into right here. Microsoft will soon be integrating its Copilot AI into the Xbox app and eventually its games.
Ooh, okay. So when I first saw this, I immediately thought, I actually didn't think of the worst case scenario. I actually thought of, is it going to be like Clippy, but for video games?
But no, the actual scenario. Here's my terrible prediction.
Oh no.
My horrible future. It's the era of AI snitch anti-cheat. That fucking thing. It's watching you play your game, and you've got your hacker shit going on, and it's fucking snitching on you.
Well, okay. So first let's get to what's in the article here, and then we can extrapolate from what is said here.
Okay. All
right. So they're going to be integrating it into the app itself just to start. They replaced Cortana, which I'm bummed about. If there was ever a selling point for me to use AI, it was Cortana's voice, but even that didn't do it. So whatever. You can ask it to install games on your Xbox for you. It sounds like some Kinect stuff, just like voice commands.
Also, you can already do
let's
that.
Bolt this on because
Right.
we need to find a use for it.
Get you conditioned to having the AI involved in your gaming experience in little small ways, and then expand on it over time.
Yeah.
Boil the frog. That's all this shit is.
You can also ask it about your play history in case you forgot what you were doing last time you played. So it being like AI and having interacted with a number of AI chatbots in the last year or two, this could go really well. Could go really poorly.
Well, and the other major thing they wanted to be able to do is give you tips and tell you like how you fucked up, like, oh, you should not have dropped that juggle, you dumb piece of
I know.
shit.
Just knowing AI, you're like, I need to not say false information. I need to stick to the guardrails that are put on me by developers. And so when I see someone lose in a fighting game, I'm like, don't get hit. You know, that's my advice to you
My
as AI.
suggestion is you should have landed your attacks and prevented them from landing any of their attacks.
Yeah, it's not gonna tell you like, hey, idiot, you're not spacing yourself right in this Street Fighter match.
I mean, it could tell you that. It'll just say like, you see where you hit this attack and you didn't hit him. You should be in a place where it hits him. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the and then the other thing is that it's to provide like gameplay tips in situations where you're like, where do I fucking go? Where do I get another sleep herb? Well, I can't find sleep herb in Monster Hunter Wilds. Where is sleep herb?
So
And it goes, oh, sleep herb is in the snow area. There's only 3 of them. It's weirdly rare, or nighttime in the first area over in this spot.
So, okay, is this? I haven't fully in depth read this article. Is this something that they're pulling from articles of people writing walkthroughs, or are they having people essentially be walkthrough people in the development team who write something up for the AI so that that's available when the game comes out?
Well,
No, it's pulling from
pulling
the internet.
Yeah, it's pulling from Bing. So I mean, you could still point the AI towards please only use like IGN and these specific wikis and websites. Where you're
Theoretically.
like, yeah, like that is an option. I do think that we'll see how well that goes. Of course, I
Yeah.
actually think that this is kind of cutting out the middleman in some ways
Yeah.
because I have seen the way my girlfriend plays video games.
Hmm.
Where if she's 100%ing a game, like she is committing to a 100% run, she will literally have the guide up on her second monitor, like
I do that
1-to-1. You
100%.
dunk it, yep, just 1-to-1, just boom, 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 boom.
My most recent playthrough of Persona 5,
Mhm.
I literally just had a fucking thing on my phone that was do this, then do this, then do this.
Oh, I have totally seen people play the Persona games with a literal day-by-day guide to maximize the exact correct path to get every social link, everything in one run.
Yeah,
It
and you know what?
is
It feels incredible. It feels incredible because I then get to go up to every boss and nuclear bomb annihilate them no matter what difficulty I'm playing on.
So, okay, but here's my problem with this is that, like, okay, Copilot becomes the premier way to play this way of going through and getting this information. There are now less eyes going to the IGN walkthrough and the other trusted source walkthroughs,
Absolutely.
de-incentivizing them from making this content, which means as time goes on, the AI will have fewer and fewer sources to pull from if it's not from themselves.
Well, you've touched upon a bit of a key issue with the implementation of AI on the internet as a whole.
Yeah.
And that's the inevitable problem of AI pulling from AI, which is pulling from AI, which is pulling from an AI, until you get
You're already seeing the
wildly
effects
long
of that.
chains.
Yes,
Yeah.
here and there in
You're-
other places, but it's like, but that's the thing. We've seen this before. We know the effects of this. There have been articles written about it, and here is Microsoft being like, "Yeah, we're integrating this plan, and we see no problems going forward."
Yep.
It's because they have a shit ton of money invested in it.
I know.
They have
That's
so
that's the
much
whole-
money.
But
The older I get, the more the words "follow the money" make sense.
but again, this is yet another case of like follow the short term money. Like,
Yeah.
that-
if you're
well,
gonna follow the money, could you at least have some foresight?
Nah, man, it's
this
all about the
quarterly
profits for the next
bonus.
3 years.
Yeah, this quarterly
So-
bonus is based off this quarter. So
Mhm.
like I still got to get that quarterly bonus. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do what needs to be done this quarter. And if that means gutting 6 games, we gut 6 games.
yeah, like it's very much a hey dog, 3 years. Like it's a 3-year window at max. They're looking at. I do want to say for American companies, so Microsoft, Xbox. So like once you go international, that changes a little bit, and things get a little more, a little more tame. And in the case of Japanese companies, they're thinking like decades in the future.
Yeah, that's how you get a
Um,
Nintendo who is treating their employees very well and being very deliberate with their development.
Yeah, that's how you get Capcom, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's how you get an investor at Capcom being like, why not put the Monster Hunter out now? And then Capcom being like, trying to tell them in the nicest way, that's stupid. That's really dumb.
I mean, they still put out that
Yeah.
Monster Hunter with some rough edges here and there, but it was
Yeah, they
enough.
did go put the 30 FPS blinding fog into Monster Hunter Go.
Yeah, but no, I get it. It's just, oof. Let's see.
The last feature they talk about here is they also talk about the Copilot remembering where you left items in the game and what you were doing last.
I'm as someone who is in his mid-30s and will occasionally take long breaks from games, not gonna lie, that's actually kind of appealing. Like, just asking a press if it works, and
That's
that
the
is
thing.
the big thing.
Uh-huh.
That if it works, being able to be like, what the hell was I doing?
If that works, it's awesome.
That is what leads to the AI snitch that goes, excuse me, Ubisoft, this guy is using an exploit in your single player game. He's not supposed to do that.
Yeah, this all his online single player game is going to be relaying, or hell, it's AI. So even if they've like made a game that was offline, the AI is still running.
The AI can know that offline you used that exploit, and it can go, Ubisoft, he has more megabucks than he paid you for. He must be doing something wrong.
Yeah, okay. No, you've just presented me with the darkest possible future.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's the AI Copilot snitch that watches all of your gameplay and tells people when you used cheat engine to get more megabucks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, with that in mind, I asked Microsoft if Copilot Gaming would be opt in or opt out of use, or if users could opt out of having their data used to train it. The answer is yes, except no, probably later.
Sorry, you cheated in extra gold in Shadow of Mordor. Your Xbox Live account has been deleted.
Man, that sucks. Mine's 21 years old.
Yeah, this is, it's not great, but
I do think it's one of the better examples of potentially positive uses for AI. I'm obviously being incredibly doomer about it, but yeah, it is useful to have a thing that'll go, this is what you were doing before 16 months ago when you last booted this thing up, and for it to be able to, if it's getting particularly advanced, to go like, oh, the reason you got fucking beat in this Halo match is that you were being consistently outflanked because you weren't paying attention to enemy position. You weren't properly checking areas that you could be attacked from while trying to advance into where enemy players are.
Yeah, one thing I can say is I actually really do hope they do have internal training for guides, because I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that would be like, because look, if people nowadays, most people, if they get stuck, they pull up a guide or they go on the line and pull it up automatically. I would love for an in-game thing for World of Warcraft that's just auto hooked up to Wowhead.
Oh God.
Right.
Just please. Because like most players I know are doing that anyway. On their left monitor, their second monitor, they already have Wowhead or Icy Veins up with builds and gear and talents.
Yeah.
You know, an example of this actually is RuneScape. RuneScape has links to the RuneScape wiki in the game.
Of course.
No, Guild Wars does that actually.
Yeah.
Guild Wars does that. Guild Wars also does that. Yep. So
Alright.
and then
And
like
RuneScape is particularly bad with being one of those games that it's like you need a wiki to play. I mean, the quests in that game are psychotic. It's like the sort of thing where it's like, what, you didn't think to pour a bucket of water down the drain to
You
move the
idiot.
key
Monkey
into the
Island
sewers?
puzzles.
Yeah,
Monkey
it's a
Island
game
puzzles.
of Monkey Island puzzles, which is a really, really weird thing for an MMO to be.
That's awesome, you mean? Shit.
It's dope. I fucking love it. There's nothing like it in the world. But it's very strange.
Yeah. Well,
Um.
all right.
All right. Well, let's get to the next news story.
Let's get to the next news story. Hey, Xbox, you want it on the go?
They're giving you
Maybe
the porta
depends on what
box.
they're doing.
Well, guess what? First portable
What?
Xbox could be hitting shelves soon here.
What if they named it the
Yeah.
porta box? What if they go, it's the porta box, guys?
I mean,
They
yeah.
done
haven't
really
made good
stupid
name
names.
decisions before.
X-Bone,
Yeah.
still my favorite. The Xbox One, the X-Bone, the X-Bonin.
I don't know why they never
Xbox
picked
One
that
is
up. I
just-
don't understand.
It's just confusing too. It's just really confusing because people were already saying the Xbox One about the original Xbox to like differentiate
Yeah.
it from the 360
Yep.
because people were calling the 360 the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mhm.
people were saying the Xbox One in reference to the fucking original Xbox.
Yep.
And they went, no, you can't do that anymore. We're going to make it harder to differentiate the boxes.
Yep.
They could have just went. They could have had done 720, and it would have been fine.
That
would've
was a
been fine.
problem on day one when they first announced that name. Just like immediately, like, great, thanks, you psychos.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so is this oh, this is just a Game Pass Ultimate. I'm guessing this is just mobile touch Xbox
yeah,
Game
this is
Pass
just-
stuff.
this- yeah, that's a Game Pass ad.
we're
that they
still
put in,
we
but-
still have not fully announced
No,
the existence of the portable beyond Phil Spencer being super tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
so-
internally called Project Bayside. It's still a secret.
I love that band
Um,
Bayside. Anyway,
Yeah. So apparently, well, Project Bayside is the common UI across multiple devices to help combine Windows and Xbox. So I think that's that rumored version of Windows for handhelds.
oh,
Like that specific thing. What the handheld is called Project Keenan,
Oh, okay.
and that is apparently going to be manufactured by Asus. So I'm literally picturing just an ROG Ally or Ally X with this new Xbox UI thing.
Almost certainly what it's going to be.
right.
It's, you know,
That's fucking wildly disappointing. Oh, disappointing. It does solve my problem with one of my two problems with the ROG Ally X, which the using Windows on a handheld is torture. It is the worst
Right.
shit imaginable. I do not wish that on anyone. There's a reason why Bazite on ROG Ally is popular. But and then the other problem is price. So I don't know. Maybe if they do a deal like with Microsoft to get the price of this thing down from like 800 to 600,
that would be
and
helpful.
then like this UI is good, that would immediately make it at minimum as appealing as a Steam Deck OLED, if not better. Because the ROG Ally X kind of became the best handheld in my mind, other than the fact that you have to use awful Windows.
Right.
So-
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's coming, supposedly. And being able to
It'll
play
be
Xbox on the go.
$2,000. It'll be $2,000, and it'll be worse than a Steam Deck.
Wouldn't put it past
Monster Hunter
him.
Wilds will turn into a PS1 game. It'll turn into Monster Hunter Frontiers.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, I don't know. I have no feelings about this until I see it.
I think
Yeah, they keep,
it's pretty clearly a Steam Deck, not a Switch, sort of deal where it's like,
yeah.
this is gonna be
Big
just
boy.
another competitor in the it plays PC games in your hands market.
Except
it kind of needs to be because
maybe
Xbox is not Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, like, man, if they could get like full Xbox UI in that thing, including your 360 games, though, that'd be pretty sick.
That'd be nice.
That'd be pretty. If they could get the 360 back compat on that damn thing,
Yeah,
ooh, that would be a big deal for me.
it would be.
So, yeah, I dig that.
I should sell
Oh,
it
no,
like they do those little mini boxes that are a place to like emulate, those older consoles, and just what you do is you create the big tablet, but it just super leans into the aesthetics of the original Xbox and sells it as a nostalgia item. It's like a version.
The tablet is the shape of an original Xbox, the full size and all. And you have to hold
the
giant box in front of your face. And it's got a screen in the center.
Here.
You thought you hated the Duke? Fuck you.
and the box is mounted on 2 half Dukes.
Oh, no.
So on the left side, there's a Duke. On the right side, there's a Duke.
A portable console only for Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Got it.
He can hold it.
They
hate the Japanese market.
It really apparently the Series S did pretty well in Japan.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, that's good for them, I guess.
It was, of course, still dwarfed by Sony and Nintendo.
Yeah, but look, man, they gotta take the wins there where they can get them.
Few and far between. So might as well
Listen,
celebrate
man,
what you
I
got.
went to a lot of electronics and game stores in Japan when I was there. I did not see a single Xbox. So
yeah, you got to get in the deep and dark places, the places they won't let you go.
Yeah,
where all the Japanese Crimson Skies fans are.
Yeah, there you go.
I did actually. Nakano Broadway is what you're talking about.
Oh,
and,
okay. All right.
It's dingy and strange, and it's like a secret mecca of video game culture.
I'm just writing this down. Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, I walked past a room that was 4 guys on like tiny folding chairs playing Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
All right.
On CRTs.
Yes.
And I'm like, this place is for real. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Someone's paying rent. Someone's paying rent for a fucking like shop thing, but it's just for guys to sit by CRTs.
Yeah. Oh, in another life, man.
Oh, man, you want to talk about if I were a rich man type fantasies? Right. There you go.
That's the thing. You have to be rich, or you have to be really good at Street Fighter 3 in these dark alleyways.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not one. So, yeah, I don't know.
Gotta get real good at Street Fighter 3.
I'll get there. I'll get there one day. But yeah, that's portable Xbox. Looks like it may come out this year. I'd like to look at it. I don't know.
The Portabox coming to you in 2025.
See, I think Xbox Series P. That's what I was thinking it was gonna be. Like that.
God damn it! Lean into that even more. Yep. That'd be funny. And then you have, you line up all the editions, and it's the Xbox PSX.
Yep. There you go.
Good.
This is the Xbox Penis Edition.
There you go. All right. Yeah. See, it's better marketing than what they got now. All right. Next news story. Speaking of the portable market, Switch 2 is looking to cost maybe $400 or more.
Yeah. So they think it's going to cost at least $400, if not more, due to issues such as U.S. tariffs. Though some of that manufacturing has been diversified, so I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. They do believe that due to the parts, though, it is going to go up at least $100.
Okay.
It's,
and then
up to nearly twice as expensive as the production cost of the original Switch. from
Yeesh.
$80 per
chip.
unit, ranging to 130 to 150. The same quote says, "I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo goes ahead with $499."
Yeah, I don't think they want to do that because I think they want to still be the cheapest system on the market.
I
For the
believe they
new
do. It's just that it's really speculative whether or not U.S. tariffs are going to last, but
Yeah.
realistically, with the threats of certain retaliatory tariffs of up to 200% in certain regions, you could be dealing with a lot of extra cost just from tariffs, and that's even in a situation with a deeply diversified, production locations for the different pieces. Each component either has to get in or have a fully constructed version of the console get into the United States, and that's gonna be expensive if tariffs are still a problem. Donald Trump has already threatened tariffs against like Japan, for example, talking about Japan as an economy that has a significant trade deficit with us, or we have a significant trade deficit with them, which has been the primary target of these kinds of tariffs. So the price could be raised solely on speculation that it might happen, whether it does or not. And this is, one of the consequences of that sort of thing going on in an economy is that you have to raise the prices of things for the possibility of something that could cause an increase in cost, even if that thing hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, on that note, though, they do think that it is going to be available in June, with a first day inventory of 6 to 8 million, compared to the 2.7 million of the Switch 1 and the 4.5 to PS4/5. They predict it'll be the biggest launch in the history of video games, and they think that it's going to have a strong first-party lineup with the first year. They expect them to have Mario, a new 3D Mario, Mario Kart, Pokemon Legends ZA, and Metroid Prime 4.
I
And then
really shouldn't have made that trade with you in our fantasy
did you
league.
accept it?
Did I not? Oh, I don't think I did.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm too locked in. I have to accept it either way, but it's a bad trade.
I respect the morals you have here, sir. I would have understood either way, but yeah. I mean, to be fair, God, I'm forgetting the name of the fighting game. 2XKO. That could
Yeah.
review really well. So we
It
don't
could
know.
review incredibly well.
Yeah.
So if any of you in this audience are gambling people, here comes an opportunity for you, okay? Because the Nintendo Switch 2's release is going to be a major inflection point for Nintendo stock, because analysts are pretty much universally going, this is going to be the fucking hottest shit ever. This is going to go fucking crazy. And so they're all really, really bullish on on Nintendo stock price. So if you think that yes, it will go good, the stock will go up. But if it doesn't go as good as people are thinking, even if it goes good, if it doesn't go as good as people are thinking, it will go down.
Yep.
And so if you just go, I'm gonna buy a bunch of shorts specifically expiring like within a week after the release of the Switch 2, you could be in huge money if they go, oh, it's $500, and then it comes out and people go, ooh, I don't have $500, and they sell like 3 million. 3 million is a lot. That's still a successful launch. 3 million to 500 is crazy. It's just not 6 to 8 million. So the stock would still go down.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. So if you want to talk about also gambling on this, what you could do is like I think the Switch 2 over the course of its life is going to do exceptionally well. You could, if that dip does happen, you could buy that dip, sir. You could, just, yeah, there you go. Just This show is not investing advice. Do not listen to us.
Yeah, no. If you lose money, you sue me personally.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, sue Duncan. Do not sue us. Do not sue Super Game Craft LLC.
I've just had like
I'm
a.
saying this is like a. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna say I just had like a small bummer of a realization. It's not that big a deal or anything, but it's just like this is the Nintendo sequel with the least amount of iteration to its design.
Yeah.
In its history, and
It's very similar.
that kind of bums me out a little bit. I understand completely. I am totally down for another newer, better Switch.
What about Super Nintendo?
That expanded from 2 to 4 buttons, and it got some shoulder buttons.
I mean, yeah, this is getting mouse support though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it got mouse
kind of a big
support.
deal.
Yeah, I would like to see it be used, but like,
where's the handle?
Yeah, where's the handle? Right, I need a handle. I need this thing to stand up to being dropped from 3 stories.
See, what they should have done is did what the PSP did, where they had that little like lanyard hole.
Yeah.
Or that wrist strap hole.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just funny, you look at it, it's just like that's the Switch again, and like I understand. It's just like this is a company that's been known for just trying weird shit with its hardware, and man, the Wii U was like, all right, we're gonna take a break from that for a while.
Yeah,
I think that I also think that the Switch being the second and possibly by the time it's done best-selling console in the history of video games kind of was a big part of that.
Absolutely.
I think that they were like, man, this was not a fad like the Wii was. This is like a holy shit real deal. Can we just do this again and improve on it?
Well, that was the thing. Like, just in terms of sales numbers, like they struck absolute gold, and then they were capitalizing on that, but in their own way, where they tried to switch things up and mess that up in a few different ways, and then happened to strike gold again, and we're like, okay, we are hanging on this time. Nuh-uh.
Trading Nintendo options around the time of a console release is like trading biotech around the time of a U.S. medical trial, like results releasing. It's just it's gonna go way up, or it's gonna go way down.
You are entranced by the thought. You're putting money down on this, aren't you?
I might do it.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Really funny. Honestly, I'm bearish. I think that they're gonna do great, and I think that they're not gonna sell like their entire stock. And I think that people out there are like, Switch 2 is gonna go fucking crazy. It's gonna go insane.
Guys, like 3 weeks ago, you can't do this to me. I just like got my Moo account up and running like 3 weeks ago. Oh, well, you can't do this to me.
So here's the thing. It like in terms of like its lineup and what it is, it might not make it unless word of mouth gets so crazy that it like spreads to normies, and then it's showing up on Saturday Night Live. People are shooting people.
It's gonna be an incredible console. It's gonna sell a lot, and we're in a huge economic downturn right now. We are on the precipice of a ridiculous amount of financial loss for people. There's a possibility that come June, so many people will not have $400 to $500 to spend on a Nintendo Switch that it'll sell well, like, probably more than the Switch 1, which sold 2.7 million in its first month. But I don't think it's gonna sell their 6+ million starting lineup, which is gonna look really bad for them, which is gonna make investors that are going, yeah, this is gonna go fucking to the moon, this is gonna go insane. They're gonna go, ooh, it didn't go as insane as I wanted it to, and the stock price is evaluated based on how insane they think it's gonna go, not how insane it will go.
Right.
So I think that there might be a misevaluation here.
Do we know the full starting lineup for Nintendo Switch 2?
It was mentioned in the article between 6 and 8 million units.
No. The
for games.
For games.
We for sure know Mario Kart, but like that's it. Mario Kart's the one confirmation.
Mario Kart's a big one, so
The quote here is, "We can expect a great software lineup from a new in year one from new Mario Kart, a 3D Mario, and after 8 years to Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4. There will also be third-party support from day one, most probably including blockbusters like Call of Duty."
Hmm.
I just thought of an amazing idea for a show we could do.
Oh man.
Hmm.
All right.
We find Michael Pachter's investment, what
Okay.
he's doing over at Webbush for
Mhm.
like the video game industry, and then we make our own bets and invest in our own stocks in the game industry. And who does better, Michael Pachter or us?
Yeah.
It would be sad. It would be a sad show. I'm gonna say. Or I don't know what Duncan's luck is. I think.
Historically, I've had great stock trading luck, but I just try not to
Oh
do
wow,
it.
that's fair. I've had middle of the road luck. I've had some big wins. I've also had some really stupid losses. But to be fair, those stupid losses are taking advice from other people. So I mean,
I only ever
oh,
do it with really small amounts. Listen, I know myself.
Yeah.
All right, I know myself. I'm
mhm.
incredibly vulnerable to a gambling addiction.
Yeah.
That's why I don't step foot in a casino and spend money on gambling. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's my blood. The call of the
No,
gotcha is too powerful, and as
See, if I-
such,
Yeah.
Wall Street's just a secret casino.
Yeah.
just this entire conversation, I have the TikTok sound effect in my mind. Let's go gambling. Oh dang it! Oh dang it! That's what's going through my mind right now.
Yep.
Well, all right. Nintendo Switch 2. We'll see. I want to see what that starting price is.
I want to see the starting price, starting lineup. We find out it's less than a month. It's like 2.5 weeks away.
What?
Holy shit! Yeah, April 2nd, bro.
What is happening to this year? All right.
Damn.
We're
Crazy.
getting old. Is
Shit.
the answer, but hey.
Oh my
Not
god.
me. I still have youthful blood.
Hang on to it. Hang on for dear life.
Being on this show will age you 40 years over the course of this 1 year.
I spent my Friday night binge drinking and watching marbles go down tracks. Okay,
Yeah.
that's.
I was doing the same thing when I was 26, bro.
Yeah.
Well, not marbles down tracks. It was karaoke and Smash Bros. But
Well, the marbles
similar.
were also doing long ski jumps, and they were. The marbles were also trying to push a stick the farthest amongst all the marble teams.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
All
So
right.
good.
Yeah.
Marble League. Marble League is the best shit ever.
All right.
You get 5 people in a room, you scream your voice out. It's great.
That's the winning combo right there.
Yeah.
Duncan, I got something for you to scream your lungs out more about.
That you do.
Hey, so I guess that KOTOR remake still lives, right?
No, it doesn't.
But
No.
it says
Schrodinger's video game.
studio-
It's not dead, but it is dead.
the studio says it lives.
It has been 4 years.
Uh-huh.
It has been 4 years. They walked up and they said, "This is going to be a PS5 game, and it's coming out exclusive for the PS5, and we got it going, and we were going to show you nothing. We're going to show you nothing, but I pinky promise it's coming to the PS5." And then another year goes by, and they go, "Yeah, Saber took it. Saber took it. Saber took that over." And then another year goes by, and they're like, "Guys, it's not dead. Trust me. We're not showing you anything, but it's not dead."
We're
And-
not.
Now another 2 years has gone by, and they went, "Guys, it's not dead. It's definitely not dead."
And I get the impression. So I have 2 takes. One is optimistic. One is just doomer take. Optimistic take is Space Marine 2 got them a whole bunch of money, so now they can focus on getting this up and running and making sure it's done right. That's my upbeat take.
Mhm.
My doomer take is they're picking this up, throwing as little money at it as possible, and then using it as a tax write-off.
Yeah.
So
It
that's
doesn't-
my
It
my
doesn't
2
take
sides
5
to that.
years It doesn't take 5 years to remake KOTOR 1. KOTOR 1 is already an unfinished game. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
I mean, I don't know anything about game development. I don't know. I noticed that it takes longer to make a game. I don't know what the average for a remake is.
But and to be fair, this did get started at one developer, and then a year later they passed it off to another developer.
Yeah, well, and also it
So
was part of the Embracer Group cataclysmic meltdown
yeah,
that happened when the Saudis didn't buy Embracer Group. And they were being made by both Saber and Aspyr, and then
Yep.
Aspyr got nuclear bombed out of existence, and Saber survived, and then Saber took it. And so they're like, guys, we're still making it, but like it's just so clearly not a priority. It's just so clearly not a priority. The big red flag is that not only has it been in development for 5 years, also it hasn't had anything shown for those 5 years. Like anything. You something has to come out. If prove to us you have a game. Just prove there is a game. That's all. Like you can't even do that.
Does concept art count?
Yeah.
Can we gin up some concept art and throw it at you? Someone was working
sure,
on
you
it.
can grab that concept art from what 2002
Mm-hmm.
that they made for the original KOTOR 1 by BioWare.
Yeah. Just redraw it, trace over it, whatever. There you go.
So God, I'll just sell shade KOTOR 1, put it out. There you go. Problem solved.
I'm just saying. People have made like high resolution texture pack mods that and remodels for the game, like, and that's popular. It's a popular thing to do to mod KOTOR 1 for a playthrough. I am not confident that they are further than the mods in their development.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The fact that it's okay. So how long have they been working on the new Perfect Dark? How long has that been going on?
7 years. That started in 2018.
Okay, so we have like a trailer
The fake game.
and a couple bits of art, right?
So we had a trailer, and then we had like a teaser trailer and some concept art, and then we had the gameplay trailer last year.
Okay. So and it's been 4 years for this. We've gotten nothing, but 4 years of this supposedly existing.
Well, it was 4 years since it was announced as a PS5 exclusive,
which means they've been going on for longer
up
than
to
that.
a year before that. So, which is why I say 5 years of development probably started in 2020. It's particularly bad because in the situation of a remake, the thing that commonly makes games take so long to come out when it's getting like to 5, 6, 7 years is, guys, this fucking core thing about the game just sucks. Just we don't or it's just too ambitious.
Well,
it's just we have to gut this thing. We have to basically restart huge parts of our development process, and that'll add years to a game's timeline on coming out. That's not true for a remake.
Well,
You
it
make
depends on
games.
how big and ambitious the remake is, because like you think about like Final Fantasy VII
True.
Remake, right? Like holy shit, like that game got to restart development, and that game was a huge time and money sink, and
But
it effectively plays entirely different. And I think that this is gonna be a hot take. I think KOTOR 1 kind of plays like shit today.
Well,
It is
a
not a
CRPG.
fun. That is fair, but like, man, that game does not play well in the current climate. And some of its choices in regards to writing aren't perfect. So I
Yeah.
think a remake, like even like after playing Baldur's Gate, for example, it's like, oh, you would have to at minimum make the combat like that, but Star Wars for people to like meaningfully give a shit, or turn it into a Western RPG
Yeah.
like The Witcher, but with lightsabers. You do that.
So For anyone who's not familiar with the background of how KOTOR plays, KOTOR is it was one of the first examples of BioWare doing that, hey, let's put a third person behind the shoulder camera on a CRPG and let people walk around a 3D environment. Rather than, click around locations and have a top-down view. And it was cool. It was a cool thing to come out. And the mechanics for the game are really interesting because they are a video game adaptation of the Dungeons and Dragons third edition version of the Star Wars tabletop game. So anyone who's familiar with Dungeons and Dragons third edition or 3.5, or if they've played Pathfinder, you'll recognize the system is working almost exactly like those tabletop games, but super dumbed down by comparison. There's very few feats, and the whole magic system is their magic system's a little complicated. The force in that game is a little complicated, but not more complicated than spells in a lot of these tabletop games, I think. Uh, and so
But
sorry, go ahead.
I also think translating that to a mass market Star Wars game is hard.
It is.
But
Uh, that translation causes a lot of problems for the game's approachability because third edition is infamously the most number crunchy version of Dungeons and Dragons. It is very complicated from a math perspective in comparison to most other TTRPGs. And that makes it so that you enter into KOTOR without already being familiar with it, and you're like, "Fuck, what is this? I get a +2
oh yeah, that game.
-4 if I don't have dual wield, but then I have to. I still get a minus if I do get dual wield, but I have to have a light offhand." Uh,
I
people have a hard time with it.
love that game, but man, that game was also really hard for me as someone who was like not at all familiar with D&D or those kind of games when I played it on the original Xbox.
So when I first played the game, I was not at all familiar. I was in fact a child, and so I was like, "Yeah, this stuff is confusing," and I just like I think I used auto level up, like it was bad.
Sure.
Then when I revisited as an adult, I have played a lot of Pathfinder, which is Pathfinder is a remake effectively of Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition, which is an expanded version of Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition, which is what this is originally based off of. So I then got the experience of revisiting the game and going, "Oh, I understand the system innately, like super well. I'm an extreme power gamer when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition." So it went from being completely incomprehensible to like super simple for me by comparison to what I'm used to. And it's an incredibly exploitable system. You can make a ridiculously overpowered character very easily in KOTOR if you're familiar with 3rd edition. And I think that modern audiences would have a hard time with that. So it's possible that the reason this remake is taking so long is that they went, maybe we make it an action RPG, and
I think that could be a big part of it.
and they're giving it the Dragon Age 2 or the Dragon Age Inquisition style combat system of like you're actually swinging a weapon instead of having a turn-based stop and pick what you're doing.
But the thing is, we don't know, and no one knows. So
Yep. Nobody knows anything about it.
This is. I'm going to bet within the next 4 years that this becomes a really expensive tax write-off.
Yep.
That's my guess.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. We'll keep our eyes on that because KOTOR is KOTOR.
But you know what isn't just an expensive tax write-off, and instead can lose infinity money and still get another sequel?
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding 2 trailer. Or Death Stranding 2 game, which just got a trailer, which confirmed it's releasing in June.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
I'm very excited.
Kojima brain damage. Let's go. Throw millions of dollars at it. Advertise it to the world. Oh my god.
So this this trailer, from what I recall, effectively is just going, so, which is, mind you, I'm a soothsayer. I said this on the show. All right.
Or could you scroll down just a hit? There we go. There we go.
I
there
got
we
it.
go. Perfect.
This is just Metal Gear Solid.
And as far as like vibes go and like plot line goes, yeah, kind of.
Snake
You're
is in
not
it.
wrong.
He's there.
No, what's gonna happen? And Wooly says this on Castle Super Beast is like, you're gonna kill that motherfucker, and,
Yeah.
and he's gonna have some like a hokey ass Kojima ass way of saying you have to let go. You have to like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Death Stranding 3 is gonna come out, and it's gonna say "fuck you," I'm never letting go, and it's gonna be I'm taking Metal Gear Solid,
That
and
would
you're
be
gonna
really funny.
transport Metal Gears into a big solid box as a big part of the game.
Man.
I you know, the thing was is like I was all about him. Like I totally think that particular look is him legitimately saying like, nah, fuck you, I'm going to kill him. But because Kojima does seem petty as hell.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, after what happened, yeah, should be.
Yeah, probably should. I think like I understand why Konami wanted to get rid of him. I think the way they did it was bullshit.
I'm
Sam
just this
Bridgers.
is my first time seeing this
Go ahead.
trailer. I gotta say, like, I am already a huge fan of Death Stranding, so I already knew I was gonna get it. Just seeing him have that baby strapped on his front, I'm going to fall on that baby so many times. Oh God, I'm so
With his
terrified.
little head.
I am.
Yeah.
I think Kojima's peak for me personally, at least, was MGS1 to MGS3.
Mm-hmm.
That was his peak. But I do admire watching Death Stranding and playing Death Stranding and being like, fucking this man keeps convincing at least Sony to invest hundreds of millions of dollars into this crazy shit.
Look, man.
Clearly didn't catch that there. That's like clearly the floating head of a Metal Gear.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, here's the thing, though, is that
100%.
like you just don't get many creators like this, especially at this level. And he's had so much experience, and then he finally has the chance to break free and start something new, and he does, and he goes crazy with it. I am so thankful that people are willing to make this happen, because damn.
I think part of it is the fact that it is Hideo Kojima, the name as well.
Yeah.
That name sells. I think that you know, I think a similar
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
a similar creator, just not as big, is like Studa51.
Right.
Where like
Yeah.
you know, he is making AAA games that he wants to make.
Yep.
Kamiya is another one.
Me is another one.
Yeah, like
He's making AAA games he only kind of wants to make, and then games he wants to make.
Yep.
I think this game looks cool as hell. It made me want to replay the first one.
So Sam Bridgers is going to be awarded a medal. He's going to be awarded a medal for his actions, and it's going to be in the shape of a gear.
I could see it happening.
That's
Sam, for your illustrious service to New America, here is the gear medal.
He's holding it. He's like, metal gear.
The shape of a gear.
I also, can we talk about this thing's release date, man? Like a month to the day or 2 months to the day of fucking this MGS3 remake.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah. Yep. He wants the smoke. He wants it.
Game development is such that it doesn't necessarily mean that, but you can't help but think, oh God, this game looks so fucking cool. Oh,
It's really sick. It's really sick.
Man.
I'm glad they are also seeming to lean into action a little bit more. I'm excited for that.
Well, so
because
as long as the
they
combat
wanna be Metal
keeps
Gear.
up with it.
Yeah. Also, you are correct. I don't know. MGS5's combat ended up being pretty good.
I know, but
I
Death
can
Stranding's
see it.
combat
It's
is okay.
not great. It's not great.
It's not great.
It's not great.
I can maneuver through it, but it is definitely, in my opinion, the worst part of Death Stranding.
The trailer gives me the
I'm just-
impression it's going to be very set piecey with its combat. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're seeing a lot of I'm being sucked into the big hand monster, and you're shooting into it as you're going through the like pretty automatic sequence of getting sucked towards the big face.
I want him to keep making these games. Like, if he keeps going with this will become one of my favorite franchises ever.
He'll never stop. He needs access to all the people in Hollywood that that he can sit and pretend to smoke with because they smoke but he doesn't, but he really likes how cool it looks when people take pictures together while smoking.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm all about those pictures. Yeah, you're hanging out with all these famous people. I get it, Hideo. That's awesome. Good for you.
He needs to be making these games to do that. He needs to do that.
I actually kind of hope that he does what he did with Metal Gear, where he's just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with Death Stranding and I want to go on to something else, and then immediately makes another Death Stranding for like a decade and a half.
Yeah. Yep. But that's the thing. I also kind of want him to like keep coming up with original ideas and making
Well, apparently
new
he's
stuff.
working on a stealth action game for Sony as well.
Right.
Like, he's working, which is like everyone's being like, "Are you just making Metal Gear again, Kojima? Like, is this what's happening with this one?"
Oh man, I'm just God. Sorry, I looked at the trailer and it mesmerized me. What the hell was I talking about? Yeah, this game looks so cool. I'm so excited for it. I'm glad. I really want Hideo Kojima to just once. I think they've talked about it. I forget if there's a news story, but I want him to make a movie. He wants to make a movie so bad. Just go out of games for a little bit and make a movie.
He did. It's called Metal Gear Solid 4.
I played Metal Gear Solid 4.
Story is the company announced in 2023 is planning to work with A24 to bring a live-action film adaptation of Death Stranding to the big screen.
Okay, a live adaptation of Death Stranding. Well, at least he'll work on a movie. All right.
Yeah.
Also, that was a joke because Metal Gear Solid 4 has the record for a video game with the longest cutscene at 71 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
I played through that game. When was the 71-minute cutscene?
Toward the end.
Have you looked up an all cutscenes video? It's like 5 or 6 hours.
Oh no, I know it's a
long.
lot of cutscenes. There's a lot of long cutscenes, just 71 minutes.
Yes,
well.
It is Metal Gear Solid 4. It is the epilogue, which is 71 minutes.
All right, that went by in a flash for me. All right, I'll have to.
It was great, but it was.
Yeah. It didn't.
A fucking movie.
Yeah, we should not have connected. That's God. After the first Death Stranding, that's
Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 1 was a bad idea.
It turns out, which, you know what, that was another thing. You want to talk about like Kojima's ability to predict things with like Metal Gear Solid 2 and stuff like that. There was that game coming out about people being separated, needed to come back together, and it just happened to come out a little before the pandemic happened.
Yep.
It
was a game about people being stuck inside because of a terrible condition that would make them incredibly sick if they went outside.
Yep.
And then everybody got stuck inside.
And then America needed to come together, stop being so divided. And now in 2025, we should not have connected.
We should not have connected because Solid Snake is going to turn into a skeleton man and summon giant black demon monsters.
You're fucking right, he is. Oh. All right.
I cannot wait for whatever like symbolism he links in this to Metal Gear Solid. Like this particular. Oh, keep the trailer running, homie.
I like this shot. All right, I guess there's more. All right, I just like that shot.
Yeah. It is a great shot. To be fair, it's what everyone's been using in all the news stories about this.
Yeah.
But like, I'm I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh man, just like he is gonna do something about like you have to let it go.
Yeah.
You have to let the Metal Gear go.
I don't know. On some level, I know he can't, but I can definitely see that being a thing he does. Yeah.
It's becoming a Metal Gear.
There he goes.
Here's my real prediction. He does not say. He says throughout the whole game, you need to let it go. You need to let it go, and then the conclusion of the game is him going, "No,
Yeah.
I won't let it go.
This is mine." Oh, God damn it. Okay, I'm not someone who picks up statues, but that's a really sick looking statue.
$230.
Oh God! All right, thank you for letting me know.
Nope. If it's anything like the Spider-Man 2 one, they'll make too many and it'll eventually go down to like 140.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Pre-orders start tomorrow. And you can get the early access tomorrow as well.
That's on a Monday, March 17th for people watching later.
Yeah. So that'll be this upload tonight. So it'll be or today actually.
I mean,
so,
it'll be tomorrow. It's a video format. People come back later.
Yeah. So the game comes out on the early access starts on a Tuesday and the full release is a Thursday. So
okay. I gotta work this in between friggin' Tony Hawk stuff.
I thought Tony Hawk was July.
I know. I'm gonna be building up to it.
And every Monster Hunter game we need to get you to play.
There's so many video games ahead of me. Oh God.
So
yeah,
I'm stoked for this. This looks great. It looks awesome.
So excited.
Cannot wait.
Yep, that's gonna be a good time.
I'm looking forward to my 40-hour-long fever dream.
Yeah. Oh,
I must admit, I never finished Death Stranding.
That's understandable.
I played
it took me 40 hours to play and get through, and I enjoyed it very much. If you asked me to tell you what key information happened at the end of Death Stranding, Die Hard Man has a great speech. Yeah. There's a reveal about a character at the end, but it's like, I don't know, man. Death Stranding's just a ride.
I have 4 games on my PS4. I have a PS4 that only has 4 games on it. It's Death Stranding, Bloodborne, and then Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I would suggest if you haven't played it and you don't have the time to play it before this comes out, then there's got to be a video with all the cutscenes, right?
Yeah, probably. This interesting is this thing launches as a PS5 exclusive. I think they're doing their exclusive thing again with it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which honestly, good call at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
PS5, so I won't be able to play it.
Oh. Damn. Well, it'll give you more time to get through Death Stranding 1.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Speaking of wonderful creators making their creations that we love, Okami 2 is a thing.
Yeah.
Made by Clover Studios. Hideki Kamiya's Clover Studios. And hey, they're not going to work on just sequels to Kamiya's stuff.
All right.
Which, I would have been fine with as well, but they're going to work on their own stuff too, just stuff that they find interesting, apparently.
Yeah, if
they're basically going on about they're going like, hey, we're only going to work on games that we're interested in. Okay, we're gonna. I'm not going to rule out working on anything. We're not just making Kamiya sequel games. Somebody comes out to us with an existing IP we're interested in. We're incredibly happy to do that, but also we want to make our own thing, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
How we get a sequel to that dope as hell Transformers game, a Platinum Games Transformers game that's basically Bayonetta with Transformers.
Wonderful 102.
There you go.
Yeah, if they just, you know what, Platinum doesn't own the rights to that. That was published by Sega. So fucking make it happen.
They can do
Sega would be down. They would be down. They would.
I would like them to
set
make a
money on fire
small
sometimes.
battle royale party game where you have to pick one of the 101 and you just go in.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, so they're saying, Kamiya's saying, hey, we're gonna try and we're making Okami 2. We're enjoying it, but we're gonna find stuff. We're gonna pursue stuff that's interesting to us, including making new IP, which is I'm all about for Hideki Kamiya.
Yeah, look, man, as long as we get more stuff like the Wonderful 101 and Bayonetta and Beautiful Joe, like, yes, make all the new IP you want, my guy.
Yeah.
To read the quote, he says, "But of course, if we get a project proposal that or I'll give it the southern accent."
Yes, the southern accents you were giving us earlier before the podcast. Yes, let's roll it out.
But of course, if we get a project proposal that we really want to work on and the desire to go, it grows, then we'll do an original work too. So I think it's appropriate to say we'll close off any possibilities. And then it all comes down to whether or not we get a wow feeling from it.
Thank you, Hideki Kamiya.
So he's effectively saying, when we run out of money, we'll make a project for some other people for a bunch of money so that we can continue to do the thing that we want to do.
Yeah.
And we're not going to close off that possibility because sometimes we go broke.
That's the thing. Unfortunately, the gaming business is such. You need money.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Kamiya, like, he's tried before. He's made new IP and then it's like it doesn't sell until way later. Yep. So
then it sells great.
After he's gone, he's moved on to multiple franchises, and it's like, all right, well, great. Now you're bringing me back for it. That's awesome, but damn, man.
Yeah.
So,
I've been waiting 20 years for a new Beautiful Joe. Everybody.
I know.
Yep.
I know. I want Beautiful Joe.
Like there was this game Okami that, like, I guess they might make a sequel.
I really loved that game when I did a Let's Play of it a decade ago, and I'm looking forward to the new one.
Yep. That'd be another kill two birds with one stone thing. You make a game that's a Beautiful Joe Wonderful 101 crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Beautiful Joe joins the Wonderful Ones.
Beautiful 102.
Yeah. There you go.
That'd be a good time.
It teach the Wonderful Ones. Joe teaches the Wonderful Ones the beautiful powers.
Oh no!
So they can do their stuff while also like, that would be.
Well, and he's why it's 102 because the 101 of them. He joins and he's the 102nd.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
But then you got to bring the other people in too. So like Wonderful 104.
Well, yeah, you have to bring in his girlfriend.
But following Wonderful 101's logic, what they do is they go Wonderful 102 and they add Beautiful Joe, and then every new character they add, they do another title stinger.
And
they just keep adding one to the number.
Yeah, so like you do Beautiful Joe as like the first character, and you can even do a storyline where him and Wonder Red are like beefing for control of the team. There you go. There's like put one of your storyline. And then
you gotta do the Earth Defense Force thing where every time they treat it like another sequel game, and so it's like the Earth Defense Force 10 starts now.
And see, I'm going back to my battle royale idea. At the very end, you enter into their multiplayer, and you can create your own hero.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer is just Anarchy Reigns.
You are the Wonderful 114.
Yeah.
It's like you bring in his girlfriend Sylvia.
Yep.
I think that there you go. You bring on Captain Blue.
Yep, there it is.
There
Captain
you go.
Blue.
There you go. You got your three characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah, man.
They can do a lot. I'm sure Kamiya's loving this conversation. Like, man, think of all the sequels he could be doing. When we pulled this article up to be like, we want to do other things too. Please, God.
We're not asking you a sequel. We're asking for a crossover sequel. It's different.
It's different. It's different, man. Oh, God. So,
I don't think you could do a prequel, but
okay,
like
and
with this.
it's all in the Bayonetta setting.
no. Oh, God. All right.
The Kamiyaverse. Enter the Kamiyaverse.
Was he the one that did
and
God
I'm
Hand,
right.
or am I thinking of someone else?
I think he is.
Now, if we get God Hand and Beautiful Joe to
Googling.
crossover, that's a hell of a game.
Did Kamiya God Hand?
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, all right. Well, I wish the best for him. I love our.
No, but it's his favorite Mikami game.
Yeah. Okay. So he's done the first DMC. He did Resident Evil 2, Beautiful Joe, okay, it was just a voice actor for Phoenix, right? Okami, Bayonetta, Wonderful 101, Astral Chain. So yeah, no, man, just we'll enter the Kamiyaverse, and it's Dante, Beautiful Joe, The Wonderful 101, Okami, Bayonetta, and Astral Chain. There you go.
What a badass
there you
roster.
go, dog. All those games are stylish as hell.
How is Astral Chain?
Pretty good.
Like it.
I am not a fan of doing its combat, mainly just because it's the same reason I don't like V in DMC5.
Okay.
I don't like. I want to be the person doing the thing, not me controlling the person doing the thing.
I like V.
You don't want to be a Pokemon master?
I think Astral Chain I'd probably also like.
All right.
Astral Chain. Yeah, if you like V in DMC5 and you like his gameplay, you'll probably like Astral Chain.
I like Virgil
I will
in
say
DMC5 more though.
You liked what in DMC5 more?
Just proper Virgil after he got released.
Nero was probably my favorite to play. Virgil was like a monster in that game, dude. I got like all the triple S's the entire way through that game with Virgil. Yeah, so
all right. Well, the best of luck to Kamiya and Clovers. I want all the good games, and they know how to make them. So I'm looking forward to it.
I know that segment was kind of short for us, but I am absolutely naming this episode "Enter the Kamiyaverse."
Yeah. Oh, I want that. That'd be so good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
It's like, man.
Just think of the ideas.
Wonderful. Yeah. No, even just adding Bayonetta to that first crossover we talked about, that would be incredible. You know?
I want Beautiful Joe to enter the Bayonetta universe, but they have to proportion him correctly, so he looks like the original box art Mega Man, but the Beautiful Joe style. God damn it!
Now that I think about it, I just want him to make God Hand too.
See, that would be really good. People, Absolver and Sifu are out. There's a market.
Yeah, but like God Hand's so fucking weird. Like even in comparison to those, it's really weird.
I mean, that's Shinji Mikami, who he is free now because he was set free when Hi-Fi Rush
That's
Studio.
right. That got shut down and he left.
Yeah,
where is he?
Get him into Clover. Have them make a God Hand.
Mikami and Kamiya together. Ooh.
I mean, Shadows of the Damned had Suda51 and Mikami together. So I mean, it's not entirely out of pocket.
No. Now put Suda51, Mikami, Kamiya, and Swery together.
I believe Shadows of the Damned is the game that Tim Rogers, my goat and savior, in his video on Tokimeki Memorial talks about how him and Suda51 were like chilling in a room together playing dating sims one day because they were trying to do research for a feature that they both decided they really didn't want to be in the game, and so they were doing research to learn how to make the mechanic bad to get the executives that were pushing for it to be in the game to go, yeah, it's a bad idea, let's not do it. And it didn't work. And I think it still is there.
Oh no. Oh man. That's funny.
So, Duncan, I think you'd appreciate Shadows of the Damned. It seems kind of like your vibe.
Yeah,
That's
I
another
mean,
one.
I love No More Heroes, so Suit is great. I want to go through the rest of his works, especially fuck, what's the one that was like an auto-scrolling shooter? Uh, oh, it was a
Um,
7 something.
Killer 7. Killer 7.
Killer
Yeah,
7,
that's
yes.
good.
I want to play Killer
That's a good
7. I
one.
want to play Killer
That-
7 because it's the thing that got me into Mahjong, even though I've never played it. I got into Mahjong because there's a scene in Killer 7 where like 4 influential individuals are sitting around playing Mahjong, and one of them goes, "Heh, too bad," and flicks over a Mahjong piece. And me and my friends, we
Alright.
started playing Mahjong just to quote that scene over and over and over again for like 2 straight hours while we play Mahjong.
We all have our
Well,
inspirations.
Well, as long as we're talking about Suda 51, he is currently working on a game called Hotel Barcelona, and his recent games have been No More Heroes 3, Fire Pro Wrestling World.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck yes. Travis Strikes Again, Cinemore EX, Let It Die.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of games you've never heard of, I assure you.
All right.
And then Killer is Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lollipop Chainsaw
Mm-hmm.
and Black Knight Sword and Cinemore Original, and then before that was Shadows of the Damned and Snatcher.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he has a lot of credits actually. He definitely does not have the same cachet as Kamiya or Mikami does, but god damn it, I want him to.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Keep those creators creating. They do good stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Bronson, we played It Takes Two a while ago on stream.
it did. Game was dope.
Game was dope.
How many did it take?
How many what did it
2.
take? Oh, I don't know.
2? Okay.
Actually, no, one sadistic book. Actually,
This book.
Oh, so it only took one.
It took one marriage counselor, one eccentric marriage counselor to get through that, and the death of an elephant.
who has you murder? I was just gonna say, and the murder of an elephant.
Yep.
Well, I guess that marriage counselor being a book is now dead because the fiction has been split in Split Fiction.
Oh no!
Oh
no!
Him.
Well,
Which just crossed a massive sales milestone in just 48 hours of over 1 million copies.
I'm not surprised.
Or over 2 million copies. 2 million copies.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's the number of players who have played the game is closer to 2 million. But there is a little addendum there that says the game has likely been played by over 4 million.
Oh my god!
Because the game gives you a second copy of the game every time you buy it to give to your friend, so that you can play it with another person because it can't really be played alone.
Yeah.
Aaron, you and I are gonna play this eventually.
Yes, we are.
I want to play with you.
Yep. These games are fun co-op experiences, and they had quite the impact when It Takes Two came out. So
yeah, apparently the message of this game is deeply anti-AI. Like the core message of the game is an anti-AI message.
Great.
Really?
Love it. Here for it.
Well, that's interesting, given some other things we've been reading this week about the game director.
Yeah, the quote here that led to our earlier discussion before the podcast about the game director. Ahead of the game's release, VGC spoke to the game's director about the game's anti-AI message and what he thinks of the advancement in technology, to which he said, "We need to adapt to it. Fairs said when asked about the risk of AI in game development, if it's part of the industry, we should see how to implement it to see how we get better games. I can understand the fact that some people could lose their jobs, but that goes for every new technology. Bad stuff and good stuff will come out of it. You can't just close your eyes. I believe AI will have a bigger impact on the world than the internet had eventually. It's a long time until you can use it in an actual development, at least. Not at our place. Maybe others can do it. So he's we were joking earlier that it's like yeah, some people might lose their jobs. But
that is a risk I'm willing to take.
but clearly the game itself is in some way talking about the risks of having AI be so prevalent in the industry, and that's interesting. I look forward to me probably never playing this game and hearing about it from other people.
I mean, look, man, I'm gonna pick it up, and if you want, once Aaron and I are done, you and I can do a run. So,
there are other two games, It Takes Two and I can't remember
Way
the
Out.
name of the other
Way
one.
Out.
A Way Out.
Way Out.
Yeah, with the jailbreak. I saw everything in those games from other people playing them, and it's really interesting. They're clearly cool games.
I really loved the living hell out of It Takes Two, more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for this. And it does give you a reason to play all these games twice, primarily because of the fact that the gameplay for each character is different.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that was so if you do it as character X, then the next time you'll want to do it with someone else, you'll want to do it as character Y.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's that's very interesting though, that the message of the game seems to at least somewhat differ from the director's takes in interviews.
Yeah,
which
he
makes
seems
me
to not be so negative on it. He seems to be like, yeah, whatever.
Right, which makes me want to play the game more, because I want through art you can really get into like the nuances of a position, a perspective, and I understand this is a multi-person development, as most video games are. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm curious. I'm very curious now, because there's a large discussion to be had there on the different parts of that.
We've certainly had it a few times.
Yeah. So I don't know. This game has interested me. It is sitting over here in a GameFly sleeve when I'm not busy with Monster Hunter or other games. So
there,
we're gonna check it out eventually, y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Speaking of games, I might check out eventually, but haven't. The Ori developer Moon Studios goes fully independent and will finish No Rest for the Wicked without Take-Two.
Ooh. All right.
So this is their ARPG game that they have been making.
Yeah, they're Diablo-like.
Yeah. And they had a deal with Take-Two, where Take-Two would publish the game, but Take-Two was then acquired. And along with its acquisition, specifically Private Division, the Take-Two label specializing in publishing games from small developers, was acquired. And part of the deal that Moon Studios had with Private Division was that they will get to have continued support for the game after it's released, meaning that they're going to continue to work on it regardless of the game actually being finished. And that seems to have been a no deal from the company acquiring them, and so they worked out probably a buyout of the game's IP. And now Moon Studios fully owns their game No Rest for the Wicked, and we're gonna keep making stuff. This is coming with the announcement of a huge release for the game, an expansion called The Breach, which will reportedly double the size of the game.
Oh God.
Isn't the game still in early access? Like, yeah,
I'm looking at
early access. It's still in early access. Fuck.
Which means the deal is for them to have continued support of it after the early access still.
All right, good.
They're still intending on releasing things after that, but The Breach is doubling the current size of the game, And they've just been they're clearly just super passionate about making an ARPG.
Hey, I'm down for it. I love those Ori games. Those were great. So I'm willing to give this a shot, especially because I'm a big Diablo fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and this does look great from what, I've seen in the trailers at least. I haven't picked it up yet just because I refuse to play early access video games.
Sure.
Right.
I violently refuse. It's the same reason I haven't picked up Hades 2 yet.
See, and I go the other way.
So,
If it's like you release it in early access and people are paying money for it, I'm reviewing it based on your early access shit. And if you release it as a full thing, no, it's done. Fuck you.
Right.
You put it out for money. Sorry.
This game has apparently had a lot of development. When it was announced in 2023, which means it wasn't even out yet. That was 2 years ago. They said they had already been working on it for 6 years at the time of its announcement. So it's now had up to 8 years of development time pumped into it. So obviously very important for that team that they kept being able to develop it. So good for them that they got.
So
to keep it.
they were developing this during the second Ori game then.
Yeah.
Because the second Ori came out in 2020. I remember because I was playing that during COVID. Like that game came out like when COVID started, and I was streaming it. So
yep.
Wow.
It would have been 2017 that they started development of this game.
Man, that's nuts. Video game development is out of control.
Yeah. It's nuts.
All right. Well, good for them going independent. I wish the best of luck to them in that endeavor.
Yep.
All right.
You know what else we got? We got another video game announcement and reveal. We keep getting a bunch of them.
Yeah, this one looks pretty sick though. I'm honestly shocked at Konami on this one.
Right?
I'm like Konami has had like a series of W's recently, and it's been weird. It's been very weird.
Not used to that from Konami.
Thankful for it.
I'm used to pachinko machines and health clubs.
This game has not only like an M rating, it also has like a giant warning label on it about how it's like, hey, this game's super messed up.
Yeah.
Like, seriously consider if you're gonna be okay with the content of this game.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
All right. While we're running this video, please and talking, please note that.
Yeah. So they hired Ryukishi07, the author of the Higurashi no Naku Koroni and Umineko no Naku Koroni games, which are some very famous, pretty old visual novel series that later got anime adaptations, that are known as like some of the peak of anime horror as a general genre. It's been deeply inspirational to a lot of people who make horror games since they came out. They're also like wildly messed up and gory. Higurashi is about a bunch of teenagers murdering each other over and over and over again in a time loop, and like committing gruesome suicides, and it's like super messed up. And then Umineko, I think Umineko is about like a murder investigation where a guy is like, magic's not fucking real, and then a bunch of like witches are like, what are you talking about? I'm a witch, I do magic. And then he's like, no, you're doing tricks, and I'm gonna prove it. And it's also a deeply gory and messed up game, from what I understand. And it's funny because it's in a setting where magic is totally demonstrably real. And like, it's a very strange series of games. So to get that guy in on Silent Hill, it's incredibly appropriate. It's like the exact kind of person that should be writing a Silent Hill story, which is always been a story that's kind of deeply tragic and messed up. And kind of just horrifying, and horrifying is obviously what they're going for here. They've also got they've just got a really pretty vibe going,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a great direction to take Silent Hill. Silent Hill has not been pretty games previously. They've kind of purposely gone with somewhat gross, disgusting-ish visuals to get along their message. So I like this shrine and flowers aesthetic that's going along with the historical gore of Silent Hill.
Yep. It looks really good. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
It looks fucking incredible. It looks really good. I'm not big on horror, but this is impressive. They're apparently bringing in the original composer of Silent Hill, the early Silent Hill games,
Wow.
and the Dynasty Warriors series.
Yeah.
Dynasty Warriors Silent Hill.
And apparently music is going to be a huge part of the game.
Okay.
So
Right.
that's all right. That's cool. It doesn't say what studio's on this thing yet.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I assume it's going to be an internal Konami team.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's weird that we're getting this because, like, man, it's like just the I think that Konami realistically could be turning over a new leaf. I'm not gonna believe it till I see it fully. But
Yeah.
that Silent Hill 2 remake was really good, and this also looks really good. I'd like to give a shit, and that Metal Gear remake looks all right. We'll see how it turns out.
Look,
But it
Bronson,
seems
they are running out of IP to put on pachinko machines, and they really got to
fuck.
release a couple banger games so that they can stop making games again. They don't want to make games, but they have to make a couple games so that they can make great pachinko machines. Because people, I guess, with the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, like, you're gonna have updated versions of the cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 3 that can be got from somewhere other than a pachinko machine. So, which previous to Metal Gear Solid Delta, or I guess current to right now, they absolutely have remastered all the cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 3 already. It's just exclusive to the Metal Gear Solid 3 pachinko machine.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to dump hundreds of dollars into a pachinko machine if you want to see them.
Oh man. God. Anyway, I'm going to think about how this game looks cool, and that's what I'm going to think about. All right.
I'm just saying, a cool flower Japan vibe, make a good pachinko machine.
It sure could. That sure could. Okay. Someone else talk. I'm just dying.
Hey, we got a new story coming. We got a new.
We have news stories.
We got another story. Bethesda is apparently remaking Oblivion in Unreal 5, and it is apparently coming out soon. According to insider Nate the Hate, it is set for a reveal in the coming weeks. VGC corroborated this with their own sources and will likely release before June, while other sources told VGC it could arrive as soon as next month. It is apparently being developed by Virtuous. Virtuous is currently also working on that Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, and has done some work on several other franchises. It is fully remade in Unreal 5 with 6 reworked gameplay systems, including stamina, sneaking, blocking, archery, hit reaction, and HUD. They've improved the game's blocking system and have made it, and it's been inspired by games like Dark Souls. Sneak icons are now highlighted in the new system. The stamina system was modified to be less frustrating for players, making the knockdown that occurs when stamina is depleted more difficult to activate through changes in calculation methods. And yeah, that's basically it. This is coming out.
This actually sounds fucking incredible. If it comes out working, I like Oblivion. I like Oblivion a lot. That's a silly game. That's a silly game with weird and stupid balancing, which really particularly grabs me. I like games with stupid balancing that can be absolutely destroyed,
Mhm.
and this is definitely one of those. And for them to be going, hey, you know how the biggest problems with Oblivion is that you hit a guy and they don't even move? Uh, or how blocking is completely pointless, or how the stamina system is really annoying. We're just gonna fix that. We're just gonna fix that part of it, and then put the same game out. That sounds great. It's funny also that Sky Oblivion is
Like around the
not
corner.
out yet.
Supposed to be-
It's right around the corner, and it could be coming out when a full remake of Oblivion is coming out in Unreal 5 instead of the Skyrim engine.
I'm actually stoked for this. I want them to release side by side. I want to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
I think that I think Sky Oblivion might be truer to the original experience, but I think the remake will probably be a better game.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems all right. I liked Oblivion. It's, in my opinion, the last time I really gave a shit fully about Bethesda, in a meaningful way. So, you know,
Yeah. As long as I can, from level 1, run to where Umbra is, immediately get a full set of ebony armor and a Daedric weapon, and then blast the game completely out of the water by being wildly overgeared from level 1, I'll still be happy.
always fun. Always a
Um,
fun experience.
do we know anything about Elder Scrolls 6?
Nope.
That it's being made. That's it. That's being made.
I'm sitting here thinking
It's what
like,
they're working on.
is this like potentially a peek at what a future Elder Scrolls could play like?
Oh, probably. I'm pretty confident that if this game comes out and it has like a more wait and watch patience combat system, that that'll be indicative of them planning to completely overhaul the way combat works in Elder Scrolls.
I mean, I don't think this is being developed by Bethesda though. I think this is just a team doing a remake.
You're
I
right,
don't
but
know.
I think that is probably would be a decision influenced by the direction that Bethesda is taking Elder Scrolls as a whole in.
I think,
Um,
if you're sitting here, if you're working on Elder Scrolls 6 and you're still not far enough in that, like, you're just not releasing any information about it still after all this time, this comes out and people really like the gameplay aspect and your game doesn't play like that.
Yeah, probably
Um,
going to make some changes.
if you're not too far along, if you are too far along, you just stick with it, right?
Yeah, we have seen hardly anything about the Elder Scrolls 6. They've been pretty tight-lipped about it.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they do talk about it, it seems to be a emergency. There's a controversy around Bethesda going, hit the Elder Scrolls 6 button. And then they release a trailer that shows nothing. Uh,
Fair.
and I believe that's all we have. I think we literally have like a 10-second clip that is a big sweeping shot of a landscape with the words Elder Scrolls 6 over it.
Yep.
That's literally it.
I was wondering if there was more than that one time I watched that one trailer, but nope. Okay.
Yeah. So I think this is probably indicative of a change like that. And the thing is Elder Scrolls is totally used to completely switching up its combat if you look at the whole series, because like Oblivion is a big transition to a completely different kind of combat, and Skyrim
Yes.
is also not exactly like Oblivion when it comes to the way its combat works. It's way more similar than like Morrowind is. But I feel like Oblivion and Skyrim's combat style is the thing that most people are going to be associating Elder Scrolls with, because let's be real, not as many people have played Morrowind or Daggerfall or Arena as have played Oblivion and Skyrim. And so the idea of a combat switch is probably going to be a little weird for people, but I think that it's good. It's welcome for me. I like it.
I think that their combat has been terrible forever. I think that them switching to something more akin to Dark Souls would be welcome. I also don't have a lot of faith in Bethesda after anything they've made after Skyrim.
Yeah, they're in a state right now, man. So yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, technically they are Doom.
There's Doom. That team's doing great.
That's not. Yeah, that team's doing fine, but this is not them. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah. Like the Bethesda Softworks, the developer, not Bethesda, the publisher,
the company
is not in a great space. Fallout 4. I feel like Fallout 4 was like the last. I mean, like I personally thought Skyrim.
Oh, Bronson.
He is frozen.
He's frozen.
They took him out. They took him out because of his thoughts on Skyrim.
This is what happens when you broadcast from the Matrix. The agents come for you.
He was going to talk bad about Skyrim, and they went.
They came for
shut him down.
First, it was most cost effective to send developers into the Steam comment section to be like, "No, our game is good." And when that wasn't enough, they sent the people to their houses.
To send people to their houses. Yeah.
Fallout 4. But,
yeah, Fallout 4. The thing is, I disliked the direction of Fallout 4. Like, I hated the removal of the skill system from Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed by the perk system they switched to. I also think that the dialogue was made worse. I think it was just like system wise. I think it was a near universal downgrade. I think the experience of Fallout 4 is literally worse than New Vegas and 3, and I don't think 3 is even itself like a super awesome experience. I think it's got problems.
Yeah. Yes.
Fallout New Vegas is goated though.
Right.
So I think that even Skyrim is a downgrade from Oblivion, and I think that Oblivion is only a slight upgrade system-wise, but overall as a game, a downgrade from Morrowind. Morrowind is fucking amazing. And I think that Morrowind was enabled to be amazing like that because it was made by a version of Bethesda that said, all right, we need to write all these books made by Vivek. And they're like, we gotcha. We're going to make a room really hot, take a bunch of mushrooms, lock ourselves in it for 23 hours and until we have books.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. The whole layout has been screwed up, but he'll be back in a second.
He'll be back.
You're just gonna have to deal with us like this for a brief moment here. Welcome to your cyberpunk future. The slightest thing sends everything into disarray. But
I think he fully went down. I think his internet's just gone. Probably.
It said he said wind briefly knocked the power out.
Wind. Knocked the power out.
Wind. More like Morrowind.
Yeah, like Morrowind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love. I'm someone who enjoyed Skyrim quite a bit. I
love Skyrim. Yeah.
I enjoy being in that setting and running around in it. I find it hard to go back to it. One, I've just experienced that world plenty of hours. I'm good. Mm-hmm. And then, the combat is not what I'm coming to it for, or anything like that.
I go back to it pretty much every year. I'd say every year I do a playthrough of Skyrim.
Okay.
I never fully beat the game. I play Skyrim like a psychotic freak.
All right.
So I do this thing where I completely max out my character while playing as little of the quests and stories as possible.
Okay.
And then do some of the storylines, but like just nuclear bomb every single thing that tries to fight me at any point in the game.
That sounds fun.
That's my overall strategy.
Yeah.
And I love it. And it's part of why Skyrim is one of my favorite games of all time, is because it really lends itself well to letting you do whatever you want before engaging with the story. It's probably one of my peak examples of a game designed to properly exploit my taste in games. despite the fact that it's the worst of the overall games in the series. I just it's just the thing that gets me.
All right.
Hi, my power
He's
went out.
back.
Bronson's back. Hey.
I hope
What
that
did I
doesn't happen to
miss?
me too.
We just been talking
we talked
about
about how much
Yeah.
we love Skyrim.
Okay, fair enough.
and how Bethesda sent their shooters after you to take you out because you were about to say
I
something
know.
bad about Skyrim.
I've been bad mouthing Bethesda for about a decade. They sent the assassin. I fought him off.
Yeah.
Let them know. Let the record show on this recording that we love Skyrim. Skyrim is the best game ever, and Bethesda games are fantastic, and we cannot wait for next Bethesda product.
Yeah, well, the first Bethesda product, the big Bethesda game that released that didn't grab me was Starfield. It never converted me into playing it. I just wasn't interested. But maybe they're trying to change that for some people because more evidence points to impending PS5 version of Starfield.
Oh,
our next
that's
story.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. All right. Hit it up, my
Further
friend.
potential evidence has
Serve it up.
emerged. Bethesda's Xbox console exclusive Starfield could be coming to PS5. On Friday, users spotted that a creation posted on Starfield's user-created content library had a PlayStation logo on its list of all available platforms, alongside Xbox and PC. It was then removed, but archived on Restera. A little whoopsie.
It's a whoopsie, but also, given what Xbox has been doing, of course.
It's no surprise.
Of course.
Forza Horizon 5 just went to PS5s.
Look, the exclusive game is over for them.
Yeah.
They might still do a couple of timed exclusives. Like, it makes no sense. I think in the next year we're going to see Gears on PS5, Halo on PS5. Like, it's...
Yeah.
But they make too much money not to.
Right.
Like, if you get Starfield on PS5, that's, 70 million more people who have a chance to buy Starfield?
Yeah, well, in fact,
like,
to give you another cowboy quote, when Destin Lejeune was asked whether or not he could confirm that Starfield will remain exclusive, Spencer replied, "No, there's no specific game. There's no reason for me to put a ring fence around any game and say this game not going to let players find it have business success for us. What we find is we're able to drive a better business. It allows us to invest in a great game lineup like you saw. That's our strategy. Our strategy is to allow our games to be available. Game Pass.
You're slurring a little too much.
Playing games on our platform."
No, this is what Phil sounds like right now.
That's what he sounds like. That's what he does.
He's got a drink in
Phil
hand.
Spencer getting drunk on moonshine.
Yep. Drunk on Phantom Dust, the game he loves so much.
God damn it, John Metric. Why? Why the TV? Why'd you have to do that? Oh God. Yeah,
it makes sense. Like from the money standpoint, it makes all the sense in the world. Like, yes.
Further, all the other big Bethesda games are on PlayStations. People play Fallout 4 on PlayStations. It's popular. It's popular. You might as well put it there.
Might as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, give PS5 players a chance to check out Starfield and be like, okay.
All right, it's mid. Anyways,
that game exists. All right.
That game feels like it should have came out a decade ago. It feels like they have not. It feels like the people who made Fallout 4 and Skyrim got put into a cave and were not exposed to any other Western RPGs over that 10-year period, and just
there's one.
Got plopped.
There's one great sign for the Bethesda game. There's one primary metric that will determine whether or not it will be successful.
Is it cheese wheels?
No. It's how many porn mods are coming out per day for the game.
Oh, it's the Overwatch metric. It's the Overwatch metric.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Starfield, unlike Skyrim and Fallout 4, which are prolific in the porn mod world, did not receive the porn mods.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
I I almost want to change the episode from "Enter the Kamiyaverse" to that sentence.
It's true though. All right. Well,
Unironically, I think that is related to how the game didn't have its modding tools released nearly soon enough
yeah.
to the release date of the game, which meant that modders didn't get the opportunity to make all the whatever they want to include, whatever that might be.
I mean it's a combination of lack of ability and lack of desire, right? Like double whammy.
It was lack of ability and lack of desire. The Creation Club makes them a lot of money. Like there was a lot of pushback to the Creation Club when it was first announced for Skyrim and Fallout 4. And people really didn't like the idea of paying money for mods. And then the Creation Club came to consoles, and all of a sudden people who don't know anything about the modding scene or how to mod a game or what the deal is with that got perfectly fine with paying a couple bucks to add fishing to Skyrim. And that turned out really successful for them because it's like how another Microsoft title, Minecraft. Minecraft infamously is deeply moddable. It's I believe there's the number one predictor of what will happen in the video games industry, what the next big trend is whatever people have modded into Minecraft and have made very popular.
All right.
It's battle royales first appeared in Minecraft. Yeah,
is that
Minecraft
true?
Hunger Games. Minecraft Hunger Games back in like 2011.
Yeah. I guess that's technically true.
Came out before PUBG. It came out when DayZ was becoming popular.
I mean, I guess, but if you want to like, you can get real technical with that and say like, well, I mean, how many players was Minecraft Hunger Games?
It was as many as a Hunger Game, so I believe it started as 10, but then they upped it to 20.
Okay. All right. I'd have to look into that.
But Minecraft Hunger Games in particular introduced a lot of staples for the genre, such as random loot being scattered around the map, and like a lot of the DNA of the battle royale genre comes from Minecraft Hunger Games, like a huge amount of it. Further, games like Satisfactory and Factorio that got really popular are very, very blatantly inspired by Minecraft mod packs. And I would posit not a lot of people have played these mod packs to the extent that specifically the mod packs that those games are inspired by are not as played as those games are. And the mod packs they're inspired by, I think, have way more content than Factorio or Satisfactory. Like, just an unreasonably more gigantic amount of content. There's a mod pack I love called Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode that allows you to do things that are just not fathomable in something like Satisfactory. At one point, me and a buddy of mine accidentally made an infinitely growing ice mountain that threatened to swallow our world whole because we made an incorrect combination of fluids. And it has accurate simulations of nuclear physics.
Ooh.
It is a really absurd level of detail that goes into these things on account of the fact that they're collections of works that individual people were able to put way more time into,
right?
And then were cobbled together into a whole, and so they have a lot of stuff in them. I think that but a big switch that Minecraft made, and something that I think is indicative of Microsoft and Bethesda's strategy, is that they released Minecraft Bedrock Edition, and they tried to take those things that were free, like skins and maps and mods, and they tried to go, let's make these premium. And
Bethesda did the same thing. They did the same thing. Mm-hmm.
But it was particularly way more effective when they moved what they did with Bethesda's games to Minecraft. Because they took that initially free thing, and they went, let's just find a way to make a platform for distribution of these user-created, user-generated pieces of content and just monetize them. And there was a lot of pushback when it happened initially with Bethesda, and then people got used to it, and then Minecraft did it, and Minecraft has made a bajillion more dollars since they implemented it in that. So I think that the direction that Bethesda is going to be moving in is largely much more based on that than the initial modding scene that they had. And that is, I think, what's causing complications with Starfield, and is indicative of things that are going to happen with like an Elder Scrolls 6 and future Fallout titles.
It'll be interesting to see how that's implemented and how people pick that up in that scene specifically, that group of players.
I think that if it's anything like every other time Bethesda has tried to monetize mods, the community is going to tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
That's Starfield wanted to do that as well, I believe, from what I remember. And the modding community, between that and the game not being very good, told them to please go fuck yourself.
Not releasing the tools on time. The game lost its steam before the modding tools were really out there.
Yep.
100%. So we'll see what they do with the next one. But man, I just have no faith in them at this point. I don't think Bethesda has done good work since Skyrim. And I as I was saying before, the power outage. I think that before the chloroform and the lights went out. But no, before the power outage was that I think that they just have not improved game design at all since Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Fallout 4 was just more of the same. I thought Starfield was actually more of the same, but worse in some ways.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think that they know what to do anymore, because like they were at the bleeding edge when Skyrim came out for like that kind of game, and they're just not anymore. Like I think that CD Projekt Red is the current Bethesda. Like you look at what Cyberpunk is and how it works and everything. Like 100%.
Hell, I think that CD Projekt Red probably did have two guys locked in a room, really hot and on mushrooms, writing content for Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Bethesda won't do that anymore. They haven't done it since Morrowind.
All right, we have one more news story to get to. We're already running over a little bit.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's hit this last story. Ubisoft, Ubisoft, cast your vote. Ubisoft.
Ubisoft? Ubisoft. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Ubisoft.
That's the
is
Ubisoft
is reportedly considering a 10-cent back to future for Assassin's Creed and more. What I had to read this a few times. I'm like, what is being said here? They're creating a new group?
So, Ubisoft, Ubisoft is owned 14% by a family called the Guillemot family. It's a French company, so there's a French family. There's a bunch of rich people that own a bunch of Ubisoft. And Tencent already owns 10% of it.
Okay.
Ubisoft has dropped a lot since in the past couple of years. It's worth
their value is basically cut in half. Yeah, I was gonna say cut in half.
It's worth 50% of its prior market value a year ago. So the family that owns 14% of the company is kind of panicking and going, man, I don't like us not having enough control over this to make it more profitable. So they're talking to Tencent and going, is there a way that you could back a buyout for us together to get 51% of the company? So that it can then be brought private. Because if they do that, then they can take better control of the company and hopefully make it worth more before they bring it back onto the market as a publicly traded company again, which is a strategy a lot of people go through with big companies like this. So they're basically trying to go up to Tencent and being like, "Hey, you guys have way more money than we do. You could buy all of Ubisoft. You should do that, and then let us keep our bit, and then put it back out."
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Fair
Um,
enough.
Yeah.
This does not solve the problem they have had,
No,
and
no,
it
not
will
even
not
remotely.
solve the problem because we had that news story a couple weeks back about how their intent is to continue to make the same 3 games over and over and over and over and over till the heat death of the universe. And this seems like them trying to continue to do that. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but that's what it feels like.
Well,
Well, actually, to me, it sounds a little bit like the opposite. It sounds like nobody in the company has enough control to get anybody to do anything in particular. So that's why they're doing the same thing over and over again because they need a consensus to make any decisions, which is how all
Mhm.
publicly traded companies work, and that's kind of hard to deal with. So they want to
Yeah.
go private and get Tencent to buy them, so that Tencent can go, okay, turn Assassin's Creed into an Animal Crossing, and they'd be allowed to do that because they can just kind of unilaterally say what to do if it's private. Whereas as a publicly traded company, you have a fiduciary responsibility to your investors, and you're not allowed to do that.
being owned by Tencent makes it easy to get into that same problem depending on who buys you, of just like,
Yeah, like
okay, we
that.
focus tested. Here's what makes the most
Absolutely.
money.
Tencent
Yeah,
might
like
be
that.
going,
Mhm.
go, no, just make another Assassin's Creed game.
Exactly. The
Yeah,
thing
please.
is, if this continues to make a whole lot of money, because that's the thing with
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed game, is despite the fact that these games aren't interesting to me at all at this point, despite the setting, the changing setting, like they make lots of money. And so,
Well,
You know,
actually, the problem here that's making them consider this is that it's actually making like no money. It's like vaporized half of their money. So that's why they're panicking. Their evaluation is halved.
their
The
evaluation.
games, yeah. Well,
right.
so their evaluation is based off of the profitability of the games that they release, which means that the games have not been making
Well,
enough money.
I
yeah,
guess we're talking
They're
about
making
Assassin's
money, but
Creed.
not
I'm not
enough
talking about
money.
like all the.
well,
That's
yeah,
true.
like Star Wars Outlaws underperformed. Skull and Bones
Absolutely, it
was
did.
a joke.
Skull and Bones, man.
Like,
What a mess.
like like Ubisoft last year had a really bad year. Like
Yeah.
they had X Defiant bombed. In fact I came on a show on this exact show and said we have Call of Duty at home is
Yeah.
what that game was.
Hmm.
Star Wars Outlaws bombed, kind of middle of the road open world game, wasn't particularly all that great. And then Assassin's Creed Shadows got pushed to this year because it had a lot of problems that they maybe didn't want to acknowledge during development, or just didn't think they'd be problems.
Hmm.
And then I don't know if that Avatar game did good. I didn't hear anything about it.
No one talked about it in my
Probably means it
circles.
didn't.
Yeah. We
So
featured it like for a news story, I think, around the time it was coming out, and I was like, "Yep,
Didn't
okay,
hear a single thing about it otherwise.
yeah."
and that was their year, other than like DLC for the Division 2 and For Honor and Rainbow
Still
Six.
making DLC
That
for
was all.
Division 2, huh?
Yep, still making DLC for Honor.
I think the Division 2 is
uh,
actually weirdly successful.
Interesting.
um,
I remember being successful, rather successful at the time and soon after, but I just didn't think it was still going.
I think they've found a way to make it have like really low development costs, and so it doesn't need a huge player base to be profitable.
Okay,
mm,
that's nice. That's a thought.
but
That's speculation, though.
Right.
they had a really bad year last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Prince of Persia didn't make the money they needed it to make, which is
That's a bummer. I hear that
hilarious.
game was good.
That game was dope. It's on PlayStation Plus Premium now, by the way. Yeah, so they like and then even the year prior wasn't particularly like like something to be super excited about.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. And then Shadows, it's here.
and I didn't even know that this game came out. Apparently, they did a Valiant Hearts like DLC,
What?
like
Oh.
or a Valiant Hearts sequel. It was called Valiant Hearts Coming Home. So I don't know what this is. Maybe this is just an
Yeah.
HD remaster, but they didn't say anything about them
Huh.
at all.
Clearly, this
Oh.
is why their evaluations halved. They've been missing target after target after target
In
after
a number of
target.
these areas.
Really, only a couple of their flagship franchises like Assassin's Creed are doing good.
Right.
And so they're panicking, and they really, really want to stop that money go down.
I mean, let me tell you.
Okay, I figured it out.
Okay.
So it is a sequel, and it was originally exclusive, or it debuted exclusively on Netflix games, then came to everything.
Oh, that explains it right
well,
there.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, nobody saw that.
Okay. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. Let me tell you, that going private would help in some ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's a coin toss, right? It could help or it could make everything worse.
Right. Well, I mean, or yeah, continue the trend depending on who is providing the money and what they're looking for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's a full fucking sequel to Valiant Hearts. They didn't promote this. They didn't mention shit about this.
They put it on an unplatform. Like,
yeah, and then a year later they put it on everything else and didn't bother to promote it at all.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
incredible.
How the
Amazing.
fuck? What? Valiant Hearts was incredible. That's an incredible fucking video game. And the sequel, and it reviewed well and sold well. And you don't do anything to promote the sequel and lock it to Netflix?
Netflix
What the
games.
Netflix games. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. That'll do it. Yeah, Ubisoft for years has been running their company poorly, and in a number of ways, like their employees have been dissatisfied for a while, and
yeah, they had that whole sexual harassment thing come out a while ago.
Yep.
Yeah, they were one of those companies that got caught in that whole Blizzard thing when that came out, when a whole bunch of companies like got hit by hay.
Which government is suing them for Skull and Bones? Is it Thailand or Taiwan or?
Good question.
I forgot that story.
Well, you see, they used government funds to fund the creation of the game, and then didn't make it.
Yep.
Well, Ubisoft faced a lawsuit. Oh, they also have a lawsuit for data sharing with Meta.
Oh,
they also, yeah, they have a bunch of lawsuits going on. Also,
I believe it was
like,
Thailand, and I believe they were using their game studio in Thailand as a vacation assignment, where high-ranking high-ranking managers and executives in Ubisoft would be moved to work on Skull and Bones and would just chill out in Thailand.
That's amazing.
Well,
okay.
All right. Sure. Great. Yeah. So you want to talk about things that this is not going to solve? Some of these issues here. But I don't know. We will continue to track the rumbling, tumbling, stumbling of Ubisoft going forward.
I want them to make Assassin's Creed into a monster collector.
Okay.
It's going to be a Pokemon competitor. They're going to go private, and they're going to make Assassin's Creed into a Pokemon competitor, and you're collecting your ancestors, but they turn into little guys.
Yeah. Okay. Little guys. Sure.
Little guys.
I legitimately just want them to release or to do a new marketing pass for this sequel to Valiant Hearts. What the fuck? And then also you have the Ubisoft issue of hey, guess what? Their launcher on PC is dog shit.
Yep.
Um.
Ooh. Good God,
So,
man. So.
No, you know what? Assassin's Creed Gotcha, where I roll a triple S rank Ezio, and I get the different versions from the different games. Oh, I got an S rank old Ezio from the one where he was old.
From Revelations.
And yeah, and they added hooked blades instead of just hidden blades. It also had a hook so he could go on zip lines.
Okay. New Assassin's Creed. It's a 5v5 shooter, and they're all sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, but it's a hero shooter and it's set in the future.
There you go.
There you go, Ubisoft. You got it.
All right. Hey, chat. Do we have any questions before we wrap this show up?
Yeah.
Thank you to Incineroar for the
so-
follow. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Incineroar.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, for those of you who don't know, we have a YouTube channel and an RSS feed on Spotify and Apple Podcasts where this show goes. You should go there. You should follow those things. She gives positive reviews so we can keep doing this.
Not
Yeah.
once I could talk to my brother.
Hi, Steph.
Hey, Steph.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. As always, if you missed the full show will be up on YouTube later today and clips throughout the week. And we got some edited content coming in the next 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah.
So, we'll see you then.
See them.
Bye.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel or lead will enter my brain.
You know, pick your poison there.
Yep. If you want Duncan to live, you know what to do.
I'll get lead
Subscribe to
poisoning.
YouTube.
I'll eat it. I'll eat lead paint chips. I'll eat it. They'll be delicious.
I'm ending the stream.
Then
You be
they won't
quiet. Shut up.
be.